Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Fingerpod of Doom, episode 18. That's right.
Huge.
I'm Andrew Post. This is Jimmy Bones.
Hello.
And yes, episode 18. We're watching NXT. Try not to get distracted here. A little bit to talk about on the news front. Then we'll go over Raw. Big Raw, good Raw. I enjoyed Raw. What did you think?
Yeah, it was awesome. It actually, it was so watchable.
It was very watchable. I was very pleased with it. Finally, an entertaining, and through and through, from front to back, an entertaining show.
Yeah. Which
has been lacking on both on the SmackDown front for sure, and a little bit on Raw, but would hope we start to heat up here, especially on SmackDown. Hopefully, the Road Dogg Jesse James gets his stuff together here. So it's been terrible. The roadie. Just can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight.
You can listen to that on Spotify.
I will never listen to that on Spotify. Huge news coming out of TNA though.
Yeah, weird.
I don't get it. So
especially Gail Kim.
This is
great.
Multiple TNA wrestling departures revealed including Hall of Famer Gail Kim.
Yeah.
There's conflicting reports. Aaron, at nodq.com, doesn't say anything about it here. Sean Ross hasn't said anything about it. And that's where Aaron's got his news here from. But some people, it is here now. To be clear, these are firings.
Which is so weird.
Very weird. Okay. So TNA president, this is sent to all Anthem employees. Who is the parent company of Anthem?
I just thought it was Anthem. They own like a bunch of weird channels like Cottage Country and stuff up in Canada here.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they own.
But in a memo sent to Anthem, okay, so maybe.
Yeah. They own the weirdest stuff.
Strange. So TNA President Carlos Silva announced the exit. But why is the TNA president announcing it? Shouldn't it be the Anthem CEO or the Anthem?
Yeah.
Anyways,
big firings too, right?
Well,
you think it'd come from the top, not Jack Tunney. Cyril
Sneer, who served as TNA's executive producer, creative head.
I love
Gail
that show.
Kim, who was the talent relations for the women, producing, honestly, legitimate legend here. Tommy Dreamer will now be heading talent relations. Like, you're gonna keep Dreamer, but get rid of Gail Kim. Like, something ain't right here.
Yeah.
So whether or not, because Gail Kim's husband, I wonder if this has anything to do with it. Gail Kim's husband is that muscular English chef.
Yes, Robert Irvin.
Robert Irvin. That's Irvine. Right. Irvine. Yeah. So
great power bars.
Okay, thank you. Real. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, please, will you stop?
Delish.
So I wonder, maybe if she wasn't happy with the way this television was being ran, this company or production of television was being ran comparatively to the HGTV stuff or something, or the Food Network stuff, rather. Would they have discussed this? Would have this been, or maybe it's a conflict, yeah. But why fire her? Right? Like,
the only thing I can see is now that those networks in Canada have changed, which is Americans won't even understand. It's so weird. But now we have we have the feeds for HGTV US and Food Network US. Canada channels changed. Those channels are direct competition with Anthem. No idea if that's the case. Like the Cottage and all that crap. It's weird. But why? What about the other people? That doesn't make sense with the other people. Gail, I could see, like, don't tell your husband this, but not the other one.
Sure, but yeah, like this, Cyril Sneer was the creative head. Mm-hmm. So now Tommy Dreamer is the creative head. Well, this is all like bribes? Two huge, maybe. I guess we'll probably find out in the upcoming days, but I would be shocked if Hunter hasn't got a hold of Gail Kim already.
Yeah. Yeah. And
especially with Bully back on the payroll. That's right.
Yeah.
Especially, right, with Bully on the payroll again, and AJ is there, right? Like,
so unless it was something weird with the NXT talent where, I don't know, but if talent relations they're clearing out talent relations, well, they would have looked after all the NXT crew coming over. That seems to be okay.
I don't know if they would have anything to do with the NXT talent. They'd probably leave that to Sean, right? If NXT talent went to work for TNA, I would imagine they would just subcontract in a sense.
Yeah, I guess they did get paid like kind of double in a sense, their NXT and then TNA bonus.
Yeah, so strange.
Something weird is up.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, like I said, if Hunter or Nick haven't got a hold of her yet, I would say get on it, because she would be a massive asset to NXT, even a lot of women on the main roster, right? Your Maxine Dupree's, even your Ivy Niles and Dakotas, and even your Lyras and stuff, right? Well, all of the women, really, for that matter.
Yeah.
Tiffany, she's the champion and can't cut a fucking promo for her life. So,
like, Gail left when it was pillow fights because it was like, no, I want to wrestle. So she went to TNA. Right. Like when she went to TNA, that was the best women.
She didn't want her cooter flashing out on TV. The Tori Wilsons and the Playboy Bunnies.
Self-eliminated from that Rumble.
True, yeah.
That was great.
I forgot about that.
That was so funny.
Forgot about that.
But still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can have this open on another. Let's do this. So, speaking of Bully and speaking of Tiffany, we had briefly discussed this before coming on the air tonight. Hall of Famer comments on Tiffany Stratton being flustered during promo. Bully Ray says, "What about that side by side? Would make you believe that Tiffany is ready for Charlotte. It was night and day between the two. It was not a good night for Tiff at all. I just believe that Tiffany is flustered and she's nervous. It's written all over her face."
Yeah.
Well, Tiffany's facials aren't the greatest to begin with because it's so filled with Botox that it doesn't move on, like, it just doesn't move. However, Charlotte cutting her off full time, I don't think helped.
No, that would throw someone off.
Although I do wonder now if it's a work, right, to make it seem like Tiff is not ready. Is nervous, doesn't stand a chance against the queen of the garbage
No, I
slew
think
or
that's
whatever
right.
it's called.
The
What's
reason
that?
I think that could be it too is because look at Jay, like his AJ top dollar flop out of the ring a couple of weeks ago, and then he slips on Raw, and Jimmy is like, "Hey Jay, you've been
Mm-hmm.
slipping lately." Like, so are they doing the same storyline for each one, or like, oh,
Oh yeah,
almost the
yeah,
same? Weird.
that's true.
It'd be kind of weird to do the same thing. But her voice was even shaky.
That's true.
She didn't have that like Tiffy force behind it, the
and
confidence.
and realistically, the title run hasn't been the greatest, right? That being
Nah.
said, for whatever reason, they're not putting their champions on TV to wrestle.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help anybody. I get it. They don't want their champions to get hurt. That's part of the game, though. And if you're going to put,
safe.
if you're going to put the main titles on these people, they need to wrestle so they stay in ring shape. So they stay calloused in their timing. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. Right? Like
those old guys would wrestle through it. They would, I mean, that's how you basically get that callousness, like you say. Fight through it.
And there's a reason why all these old vets have always said, right? It's tough to come back after a long layoff because your body isn't callous, because your timing is off.
Yeah.
It's and in a sense, that's what they're doing to, like, your Gunthers and your EO, not so much. EO's wrestled, I believe, for the most part.
Yeah, she's been busy.
Right, and maybe they are wrestling at live events. I haven't looked at the match listings on some of these other websites lately for live events, but
yeah.
And I guess if your guys got hurt anywhere, you'd want them to get hurt there and not on TV, right? So
it's just weird. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Was it was just hard to watch. And like night and day, and then it's like, I guess Charlotte is the better performer, which of course she's seasoned. But I mean, Tiffy, like you said, the time is kind of ended for her run. It's time. She did okay with it. It was a great time to test her out, give someone a Money in the Bank run.
That's right.
But yeah, Charlotte's not my favorite to win it.
Do you mean Medusa here? I mean, Christ.
Yeah. She's 67 years old.
It's just
Rick had her at age 10.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Straight over.
It's unfortunate too. Like, it's just, yeah. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. Soraya talks about receiving. Oh no, this is the wrong one. This isn't the one
receiving
I wanted.
What?
Unsolicited photos and threats from men. Like, this is pretty self-explanatory. Don't be an absolute pig.
Yeah, well, of course you get them.
And of course,
you dated Ronnie Radke.
That's true. Yeah. And you had that other video online.
Yeah.
So,
General Manager Brad Maddox says,
yeah.
at your service.
And Consequences Creed. Yeah. That was his name, right? Yeah, Consequences Creed. That was it for sure.
Yeah. He was giving her the old 1-2 punch.
Oh yeah, him and old Maddox. Yeah, that's that's a video that I am not interested in watching again. Here we go. This is the one I want.
Yeah.
Soraya doesn't think she'll be in AEW long enough for Mercedes Moné match. Talks about possibly jumping back to WWE. The women's wrestling star spoke about not being in AEW long enough for the long desired Mercedes Moné showdown to happen in the near future.
Yeah.
So,
bit of a dig, eh? The way she goes after saying, well, it could have been booked by now, but I don't know why.
Yeah. I think she has other people that she has to wrestle right now, so I don't know when that time would be. Unfortunately, I may not be able to do that with her. Should have happened a while ago, but it is what it is.
Tony.
I would assume this has a little bit to do with another former. This is another unflattering picture, but another former WWE talent who is reading how the landscape of everything has changed backstage since Vince has been gone and wants back in.
Yeah.
And whatever we want to call her, Paige or Soraya or whatever it is, this is a woman who is a wrestler before anything else.
Yeah.
You get some of these.
She wanted to get.
Go ahead. What did you say?
No, she straight up said she did it to get her brother hired. If you did you go down? That's right. And it's like, what the heck? Okay, but he didn't last long at all, did he?
No, I don't think he had the size, really. But
yeah.
But this is someone who is a wrestler before, like an actress, for example, right? They wrestling. Well, what's the movie called? Wrestling with my family.
Yeah, Fighting with My Family.
Fighting with My Family.
And it was decent.
Right, other than, not like these, like a Jada Parker, for example, who wants to be an actress and couldn't name. What was that interview she just had where she couldn't fucking name something about her favorite wrestler, her favorite move, or she said she didn't. Oh, she said she never watched it growing up. That's what it was.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Which at least she was honest.
I guess, but it's like, like, come on.
Passion.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to see her back. She could go for one more. She could have another run for sure.
Yeah.
All those sickos could have their signs in the crowd and here's my phone number. You want to see my dick?
Honestly.
Yeah.
And he really only made it. Her brother made it 3 years there, and he was, relegated to ROH. And it's like, see ya. Yeah, he just didn't have it, but at least she got him hired.
That's true.
He got a
North
big
Carolina
check.
Senate introduces a Ric Flair Act bill. Here's what it involves. You can only be divorced 4 times, and you can so he can keep that record. Yeah, and you can only retire a maximum of 3 times, so he can keep the record of 4 as well. So
he's good.
Yeah. No, North Carolina wants that was my monologue joke. Once we get the and play the sounds and everything. And back to the show. Carolina just wants a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. So what makes neat. It's neat, but every state then's gonna want one.
Yeah.
And what's so different? Well, I'm not a Cornette level historian or
All I know is like the Hardys.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess there's probably quite a few people that we don't know about, or that we just know of, but haven't really cared to know where they were from. Who?
Yeah. All I know is 3, like the Hardys. I guess Charlotte, maybe she's from there. I don't know. And then Rick. If you're talking territory days, I'm sure there was some fun stuff, but
they that's what they're going to include. Then yeah, there'll be tons.
Yeah. Dusty.
Over here. Let's go over here. Raw viewership report. So I want to know. So the last Raw, well, this is Raw 2 weeks ago. when Cena came back. 3.1 million global views, which was top 5 in English as well in the United States.
Okay.
I want to know how this is comparing to regular television ratings. How they're going to measure this metric with regular TV ratings metrics to know if it's a success or not. Because this doesn't really, like, yeah, how do we know? I guess is what.
And it doesn't seem huge for Netflix, does it? When you think of a global.
Well, no, especially global, right? It doesn't. So yeah, I got to join this.
And then you
WrestleNomics, but
yeah. Oh, to see it. But then you have like what AEW sometimes gets 600,000 in their top 5 on cable. So
that's on cable, yeah. I mean, so
yeah.
Is this a good number or is this a bad number?
Yeah. To me, it seems kind of iffy if you're on a global scale. If you're talking, if that's all the ratings from around the world, Netflix,
then that's bad.
And what's the count?
Especially if since India's getting it now. Or I don't know if India had it yet, or if that starts in April.
So if that does, they should get a lot. Bring back Great Khali.
Oh God! Please
One more
don't.
Run.
Please don't.
You know, Vince was around. He would get that in.
100% he would. Yeah, 100%. Anyways, I just wanted to touch on that.
Is it one night? Does it say one night?
Just one night, March 17th. Just one night.
Okay. So, I guess because people might watch it after, the day after or something.
That's right. If one of our at least 280,000 viewers wouldn't mind explaining that to us, that'd be great. How they're going to measure this, compare it. Backstage update on contract status of former AEW champ Mariah May. I don't think she would jump ship. Contract's up in May. Oh no, sorry, April. Where did I read this? Big coming months. Anyways, nearing the end of her deal. This summer it expires. Okay. I would
get that check, girl.
I would be shocked to believe if WWE doesn't offer her an amount of money that she can't say no to.
You think it would go that way instead of AEW offering the money, eh? Like, I could see that too, right? Let's steal her. Why not? Let's play.
She is phenomenal.
Yeah. That would be hilarious.
Unless Tony knows that her, well, and for the most part, the majority of the women there are the only thing keeping this company afloat for the most part at the moment. Tony might just say, here's a checkbook since he's got daddy's money, and just say, write your number down.
Yeah, he might have to. She might just say, I'm playing ball, right? If she goes into negotiations, she could ride that out and cash out.
Would she start in NXT though?
Well, maybe to build a name. Is she big enough to jump right to the main? When you have Stephanie, and I know Stephanie chose NXT, but still, like, you've had bigger stars go to NXT. Even Starks, right?
Starks, yeah. Which,
although she could probably hang with a lot of the main roster chicks too.
Oh, easily.
Mm-hmm.
She wrestled Tony Storm for a year. And
Tony's great, yeah.
Tony's great, and Tony's, went through NXT, wrestled a lot of those women, right?
Yeah.
Really good friends with Rhea, I believe, right?
So that'd be kind of neat. Why
Yeah.
not do a little storyline, like a Mickey James storyline, show up in the crowd, be someone's stalker or whatever, choke out Rhea.
Tony Storm, sorry, is
Oh, yes.
Rhea. I'm sure
Rhea
they're
never
real
did.
life friends.
Did Rhea do Stardom or just Piper in WWE right now?
Just Piper.
Just Piper.
Piper for sure. Yeah.
Yes. Because Piper, Tony, and I thought there was a third, but maybe not.
Anyways, I would love
Besides
for
the
them.
other-
I would
yeah.
love to see Mariah May and in the Fed. I think she's fantastic. Mariah May was in Stardom though.
Yeah.
So
that'd be kind of neat.
yeah, I think she's fantastic. And then finally, we'll just touch on this briefly. Oh no, there was one other thing that I'm trying to find on the other screen here. But former WWE star, which it should just say UFC star, Cain Velasquez. Did you read this? Sentenced for
Yeah.
attempted murder charge. So remember a couple of years ago, he gets charged with attempted murder and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
For literally attempting to shoot a man who was accused of molesting his child.
Yeah, it was like his niece or something, right?
That
And he
he
just
has like
opened
legal
fire.
guardianship of.
Yeah, and so he opens fire and hits the other guy's like father-in-law. I don't even think he hit the guy he was aiming for, but it was just like firing everywhere, just erratic. Which
Yeah,
way
he
if you
hit
want to kill the
he hit Buddy's stepfather, which is like, okay, I get it. Maybe don't
Yeah.
fire into a car filled with people,
Yeah.
but and that's I think where he's getting the charge from. But
yeah,
like, and they're saying he's not going to serve 5 years, which is obvious, but
yeah, already done 3, I think.
yeah.
So,
but still, it's like this guy's trying to kill someone who, for what he's been told, molested his child.
Yeah.
I
that
don't
other
care
guy
who
probably
you
isn't
are.
even in jail.
Yeah.
I don't even think
I
that
don't
guy's
care.
in jail. Yeah.
He's not. No. Like, this is where the justice system fails. Although I guess I get it. It is a he says, she says thing at this point, but it's can we like give the guy a break here, especially if kid is saying that he was or that she was molested by this guy.
Yeah.
And we're gonna.
Was this in Cali? Because I'm almost shocked that he didn't get more for attempted or something. Like 5 years is a decent, I think the judge was very lenient and was like, you probably had reason to do this, but you still kind of fucked up.
San Jose, California. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it's too bad he missed.
Now I closed that other video or that other article.
The page one. Oh.
Yeah, the page one. I closed that one.
I thought you were going to show us a clip.
No, it was a Swerve Strickland one. Kind of talking down about WWE.
Ooh, and he's done that before a little bit, right?
I don't know how old this video is.
Okay.
Whoops.
Is he yapping about creative or what was it?
No.
Ooh.
Here it is. On Vlad TV. So I don't know who Vlad is. Who this Vlad TV guy is, I have no idea. This video came out today.
Okay.
Why can't I find the damn video? I was just watching about it.
And I've heard that, and he's done a few good interviews now. I've heard Vlad TV a few times.
Yeah, I don't know who he is, but or if he's like good, decent media or bad media, I have no idea. This might have to wait because I don't know where I found it. Damn it. Well, I guess we'll forget about it for now.
Well, the gist of it, though, he's just
Well,
unhappy
basically,
with the way WWE.
he had a 205 Live match against Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title.
Okay.
And he says that they were given about 17 minutes. And this is after SmackDown. So, you know, after Roman was there and a couple of other guys, he says. And
yeah.
So, you know, quite a few people have filed out because they don't want to sit around for another 3 matches of 205 Live.
Totally reasonable too, right?
Yeah. So he said there's probably about 6,000 people left. And he, you know, says he's got everybody standing on their feet. People are chanting, let's go Swerve and all this. And goes to the back and he got praise from people like Bailey and Samoa Joe. And Charlotte was there. Lots of big props, right? And then gets sent back to NXT, and they're training arm drags, and he didn't want to do that, so he thought he was better than that. And no, I don't blame the guy, but on the other hand, if you're there to, you know, you're there to learn and have a job and do whatever, yes. Right? You can't, if there's no room for you on the main, there's no room for you on the main. That being said, this is also a Vince McMahon run company. So
yeah, it's part of the game. You do what you're told, right? It is true. You do what you're told.
That's right.
But he made something of himself, I guess. It worked.
He did, yeah. I could see him possibly being in WWE down the road, but it time will tell, as they say. I also didn't see that Demolition got signed to. I'm like a month behind on this. Got signed to Legends deals.
Yes, that's why everyone thought they were doing they would be in the Hall of Fame, and I was so excited. But I figured it'll be a year, right? They'll say, okay, Legends deals for a year.
Yeah.
See if you can keep your mouth shut, and then if you do good with that, okay, Hall of Fame next year. That's cool likeness too. If they're in the games and everything, that's awesome.
Oh, so they are also adding Bryan Adams as a member of Demolition.
Cool.
Apparently, they're trying to get they got a hold of his son here, it says, so that's interesting. Anyway.
Was he from Kona, Hawaii as well?
He was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great place.
Anyways, that's the news.
Too very boring.
Oops. Yeah, true. Also very true. Yeah.
Whoa, boy.
All right. Raw review. Raw recap. Got too many white lights on my face now, too.
You glowing. Woo. We're spooky tonight. We're talking spooky.
All right. Because I'm unemployed, I got to watch Raw live. We're from Scotland this time. this week, this arena was packed.
Yeah.
I love these shots when they come into these arenas and they have to do the stage differently. These like massive overhead shots from way up in the bleeders.
Yeah.
And they have to do these overhead, drone shots and whatever they're doing with the fisheye lens. And this place is packed. Like, there's another 8,500 people in here. They made it sound like 85,000 at some points.
And the shape of it, like it's such a cool, almost like a dome, right?
It is, yeah.
They just go up. Really neat.
OVO Arena, Scotland. That's what it was called, I'm pretty sure. OVO Hydro, that's what it is. I'm sure WWE has the so they can fit 14 standing, 12 seated. So yeah, it could have been that for sure. They had a very small stage and a very narrow runway, so they were packing them in. Probably about 10, I would say.
Well, they
do them
look cool, yeah.
Right, they do them wide shots. Like there's nothing tarped over on the other cam side, right? So
not at all. It's crazy to see the people all the way up, like, and the drones just going around. It spinning around. You could see everywhere.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And John Cena opens to a chorus of boos again. He comes out, and before he puts his little holds his little tea towel up, he just stares down a kid right in the face with a Cody Rhodes sign. I thought that was hilarious. Probably gave that kid free merch after the show too.
Yeah, you'd almost think like he's too nice of a guy to not go after it all. And
yeah. And by the way, don't tell any of your friends that I gave this to you. Yeah. I'm a bad guy on TV now.
Yeah. Here's my nut rag. Go get him, kid. Yeah.
He'll sign it for you. With nut.
Yeah.
What does everybody want?
He starts up and says, I can pick apart you random ticket holders. I can see you all in the crowd and I could tear you to shreds. Last week I put a poor, pathetic kid on blast. And then fuck you, Cena chants start. And still, Netflix is trying to edit this out. Can we please stop?
They're so bad at it too.
Right? Like can we just not do this anymore?
Yeah.
We don't need to be, like we're all adults here, and then these people are wrestling fans. And what are the parents going to do that are in the crowd with their little kids while the other 10,000 people? Well, that's good. Sorry, go ahead. What did you say about Cena?
He set the tone so well, though. As soon as he came out and opened his mouth, like it was just the crowd was eating out of his hands again.
This is a different heel heat than like a Logan or a Dom.
Yeah.
When John speaks, people stop and they listen. And for my money, this promo was way better than last week.
It wasn't like a temper tantrum, right?
No, like he started it off a little bit that way. And blaming the people and everything else again, and you people and all that. But he says, I know more about you than you do, and the truth is your life is sad. This is the best, and this is all you have. But to me, you're an experiment. You're rats in a cage.
You make this so simple. Oh, it was mean. Almost right.
No, and then then he says, I gave you the greatest idea ever. The WWE Spinner Championship. And now, just like then, you eat me alive. Yeah, the Google comments. This championship is a toy. It's a toy. The title is not a toy. I disrespected your tradition and legacy.
Yeah.
And then he says what I think everybody now is wondering where this goes is, I am going to ruin wrestling.
Yes. That was so good.
So what do you make of that?
Well, going back to the chants too, Pat made this so great because he was like, nice to know they say that over here during the fuck you Cena chants.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, yeah, I love that. Pat made it so good. But yeah, even the I'm going to ruin wrestling for every fan, every wrestler, everyone. And just like, you will forever say the name John Cena, right? I will win the title. I will win the title and retire with it. Take it home and force you to create a new toy belt. I was like, oh boy.
Yep.
Like, that was so good and so deep, because what if he does? That would just shake up the business. I'd love it.
Would they allow him to do that?
I don't know. Could do another Montreal. That's so played out though, but
would they allow him to, well, I guess that's it, right? We go back to, are they going to let, I would assume, because John is such